What a horrible thing to happen. So I just heard about Channing Smith, and is that his name, Smith, I think? Who is this teenage boy that committed suicide, took his own life because somebody outed him as bisexual. And I just, obviously this hits home with me, and I just want to say that obviously we can't change the world overnight, but something that you can do if you're out there, stand up for people, dude. Like, if you're seeing somebody be bullied in school or at recess or outside of school, but they're your schoolmates, or even just anybody on the street, if you see anything anywhere, even in your house, if you see anybody be bullied, do something. Speak up. I'm not saying it's other people's fault, but I'm saying, like, speak up, dude. Like, don't let people be so mean. People are so mean. People are stupid. Kids are stupid. Kids just, they don't understand the severity of their words and what that can do to a person. So start speaking up if you see it happening around you. I am so sorry to the family of Channing. It makes me really, really angry that somebody would, first of all, out somebody like that. I know how that feels, and it sucks. And I can't imagine being that age. I can't imagine, like, I was outed, this year, and I'm 35 years old almost. I can't imagine being a teenager and having to go to school, and especially with smartphones, and we didn't have that back then, so things didn't spread like that back then. I cannot imagine how hard that would be these days. And to know that he felt like he truly believed that that was the only way that he could be free from his pain. Be kind to those around you. If you see people being unkind, say something. And also, I'm going to take this opportunity to say that, listen, if you think it's wrong to be gay, bisexual, LGBTQ plus anything, if you think any of that's wrong, freaking shut your mouth. It's not your place to judge. If you believe in God, if you believe in whatever, a higher power, let the higher power judge, okay? This is what happens when people judge people for something that they're born with, something that is in them. I spent 34 years of my life trying to prove that I was not born with it and that I made it up and that I needed to keep it in. Because I was afraid. I was afraid of people in my life, people in my family. I was convinced that my family would disown me. They didn't. They were wonderful. They loved me. But I've also come across some very homophobic people in my life, and it blows my mind that even if you don't agree with it or whatever, fine, that's your choice, whatever. You have freedom to think and feel whatever you want. But I'm saying, at what point does it become okay to out other people and to hate other people, to treat people differently if they're part of this community? When did that become okay in this world? That's not okay. Coming out is the most personal, scary thing that you can do. And the only person in the world that deserves to tell someone's coming out story is that person. My story to tell. Your story to tell. Everyone's story. It's their personal story to tell. You don't just out people. That is the most offensive thing you can do. It blows my mind that this is even happening these days, and I know what it feels like to be on both ends here. I understand the conservative views on this, and I understand why some people, believe that it's wrong or whatever. But what I don't understand, and I never will, and I will stand up for this for as long as I live, I will never understand judging another person, especially to the point of abuse and bullying. That's the kind of stuff that people kill themselves over. That's the kind of stuff that people leave their churches over. Stop judging. Let a person be who they are. And move on with your life. It doesn't matter to you who someone is sexually attracted to. It shouldn't matter to you. It shouldn't matter to you who someone sleeps with. Like, that's personal anyway. Everyone has a personal sex life. Why do you care so much? If a person is brave enough to come out, and I also want to say really quickly, I am so sick of hearing all of a sudden these days, it seems like everybody's gay all of a sudden these days. No, it's that everybody finally feels safe enough to come out. And I know what that feels like. I think that some people in my life think that of me. They would never say it and whatever, but like I'm sure people look at me and be like, well, it's kind of like the thing to do now. You just come out, everyone's gay now. No. I just finally feel safe enough. I finally feel that now in the year 2019, it is safe enough for me to come out. And that's how, and I can tell you that that's how other people feel too. So please stop saying stuff like that. It's very hurtful. It's very offensive. Stop saying stuff like, oh, it's just the thing to do now. It's just the popular thing to do. Everyone's coming out these days. There's a reason everyone's coming out these days, because it's easier, not because it's the popular thing to do. Our world has come really far, and I know what I believe personally, and I also know what I am. I know who I am. I know the way that I was born, and I'm proud of the person that I am, and I feel really, really lucky, really lucky, and so should all of you out there that are part of the LGBTQ plus community. I feel really lucky that God made me so that I can literally love everybody. Now, I've made my choice. I chose to be with a man. I chose to have an eternal marriage with my husband, and I'm glad that I did. But isn't it kind of cool if you stop and think about it and be like, wow, some people out there literally have the ability to love everybody. I'm bisexual. I love everybody. Now, I'm talking about their hearts, but still, even sexually, I love everybody. How cool is that? That Heavenly Father has the power to give me something that makes me love more people. That's a beautiful thing. Like, holy crap, that's a beautiful thing. I'm sorry for any of you out there that are struggling. I'm sorry if any of you out there are being bullied for this, or feel like you can't tell your family, or you can't tell whoever is the most important in your life because you're afraid they're going to disown you. I thought the same thing. And my family were wonderful, so loving. They told me they didn't love me any different. They didn't think of me any different. Of course, there are one or two people in my life that don't agree with it to the point of, homophobia. But even they told me that they loved me and that they just want me to be happy. I know that words can hurt. Words are very powerful, unfortunately. And in my opinion, words hurt worse than, I would rather get punched in the face and live with the pain of that for a week and a bruise than to hear hurtful words. That can be scarring forever, and people just don't realize it. People don't realize how powerful their words are. Why can't you change your words and be like, hey, you look beautiful today? Or, hey, I really like your hair. Hey, you have a really big heart. I really love your personality. Hey, you're really funny. You're really witty. Hey, I really like hanging out with you. You're pretty cool. You're so down to earth. I don't understand the need in the world to to be so vicious. It's gross. Stop, please. If you're one of those people. If you're one of those people, like I was just talking about, that doesn't agree with it, that are homophobic and whatever, listen, that's your right, okay? That is your right. But I'm saying, I can't edit this, so I'm trying to be careful here, but for the sake of my world, because I love my world. I love all sides of everything. I see all sides of everything. I get it. But my thing is, what makes you a good person isn't who you love sexually. What makes you a good person is what's on the inside, and that's what we should be focusing on. And if someone wants to come out about being gay, bisexual, whatever, LGBTQ+, then let them do it, first of all. That is their story to tell, not yours. And I know what it feels like to be outed, and it is extremely painful. Extremely. Let them do it, respect that, and treat them like you would treat any other friend, because guess what? They're just like anybody else. We are just like everybody else. We just happen to be attracted to maybe not just one gender or the opposite gender. I'm so sorry to the family that lost their son over this horrific discrimination and people not respecting people, and high schoolers and kids. You guys need to be careful with your words. They're powerful, powerful things. Don't take it lightly. Stand up for the person that's getting bullied. If you go to a school dance and you see a loner or the dork or the nerd, I don't know how it is these days, I haven't been in high school forever, but if you see someone who's not popular or whatever, no one likes and whatever, and he's sitting in the corner, freaking ask him to dance, okay? Throw away all this, I gotta look cool in front of my friends. No, do the right thing always, because someday when you're out of high school and you become a grown-up, you're gonna look back and be like, wow, I am so glad that I treated people this way as opposed to this way. Or you're gonna be like, man, I really regret treating that person that way. Just trust me, high school doesn't last forever. I know it seems like the whole world right now, but it's just not. It's just not. So stop, please. Live your own life. Respect the people around you. Be a good person. And like people for them being good people. And respect them. Respect that everybody has something hard that they're going through. And imagine if your deepest, darkest, most embarrassing to you at the time secret was outed and spread to your whole school. How would you feel? Like, freaking pick up a book and study. Don't waste your high school years being mean to other kids. It's not worth it. Be a good person. I keep getting sidetracked, but what I wanted to say was to the family, I am so sorry for your loss, and I'm so sorry that this happened, and I hope that you all, from what I believe, he's with you, and he always will be. And all of us should be using any platform we have, any voice we have to be talking about this more. And me just watching the video of the mom being interviewed and the brother and watching them cry, it was just so painful to see. So I cannot even imagine how painful it must feel for them. I lost someone really close to me as a teenager that took her own life. And it's such a painful thing, and it's something that I feel a lot of us think might be the answer. Trust me, I've been there. We all know this. I've even attempted a couple times, and I've been suicidal since I was a little girl. I've thought about it since I was a little girl, and I've attempted a couple times, and luckily I was okay. I just got a notification on my phone, and now I lost my train of thought. My point is, suicide. We were talking about Okay, I was talking about myself. So sad. Oh, being able to witness the mother of my little stepsister and her siblings, and like, until you see that pain in somebody's eyes, you might not fully grasp why it's so important for you to stay. If you're out there, if you're feeling suicidal, first of all, you can call the hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Well, that's the US one. I'm sure, just Google it. I'm sure wherever you live, there's always a suicide hotline. I've called them so many times. They're so nice. They're trained. They know what they're doing. You don't need to be embarrassed. I'm sure they've heard worse than whatever you have to say. Like, that's their job. They're trained in how to help you and talk to you, and maybe like they can help you see things a different way, which was really important for me personally. And it'll make you rethink, those thoughts of wanting to do that to yourself. And it's a beautiful thing. So give them a call and trust them. That's what they're there for. Trust the people around you that love you and want you to stay. Listen, don't make what's that quote? Do not make a permanent decision on a temporary feeling. And I promise you it will pass. I promise you. Will it pass forever? Maybe not. But the next time it comes, you deal with it again, and you wait, and you do whatever you can to distract yourself and better yourself and get out of your own head and help somebody else. And then you'll be like, wow, I do have worth. I should stick around, because you do. Every single one of you do, myself included. And very recently, I wanted to kill myself, for real. Like, I started planning it in my head very, very recently. But then I decided instead to, engorge, I don't know words, into like helping other people and focusing on other people for like a week straight. That's what I tried to do. And it helped, because I got out of my own head, worried about someone else instead of myself, and being so inside our head. Suicide is such a rough, such a complex situation, and there's so much pain with every single person involved. And I just want to say that to the families that have lost someone with suicide, I know how painful that is, and I'm so sorry that you have to be going through this, especially Channing's family. Right now, it's just heart-wrenching. I saw the video, and I saw that mother's eyes, and it was the same eyes that I saw when my little stepsister took her life, and I went to the funeral and saw her mom and her eyes. It's the same eyes. And educate yourself if you're feeling that way. Like, look around you and look at really what's going on, and just know that this time it will pass. I promise you it will pass. And it might come back, and that's okay, but it will pass again. So do whatever you need to do to let it pass. I'm rambling like crazy. I think you get my point. I just love you guys, and I have so much to say on this topic. If you have any questions for me, leave it below. I would love to do a follow-up Q&A. And again, my whole message, I'm sorry, went off on a tangent, but I really do want to say to the family, genuinely, I'm so sorry. And I love you guys, and I'm praying for you and your whole family and everyone involved. And thank you for being brave enough to put his story out there like that. I'm sure that that's what he is wanting you to do wherever he is right now. And I know that he's with you forever. And I'm sure that he's so proud that you have taken such a tragedy and used it now to help people. And I hope that we can all do things like that. That's really awesome and really admirable. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to go. I love you guys. Remember forever and always that you are beautiful, you are worth it, and I am too. Bye.